Los Angeles, a city built on dreams and ruled by war. For decades, California's streets have been battlegrounds where power, pride, and blood collide. From the deadly rivalry of the Bloods and Crips to the prison wars that shaped the La MS and Nuestra Familia. These are not just street fights, these are wars that rewrote the laws of the underworld. This is Gangster Chronicles, and today, we count down the top 5 biggest gang wars in California history. California, the birthplace of modern gang culture. What started as neighborhood defense turned into decades of warfare that shaped entire generations. Some wars began over colors, others over control, money, and power. But each one left a trail of bodies, stories, and legends that still echo through the streets today. In this episode, we'll dive deep into 5 of the most deadly and most defining gang wars, from Los Angeles to the Central Valley. Each war changed history, each war created its own rules, and each one shows just how far the streets of California were willing to go for respect. Chapter 1. Bloods vs. Crips, the war that started it all. It began in the late 1960s. Los Angeles was divided by lines that ran deeper than streets. On one side, the Crips, a growing network of young men seeking unity and power. On the other, small neighborhood cliques who refused to be controlled. By the mid-70s, those resistance groups formed a new identity. They called themselves the Bloods, the Spark. Raymond Washington and Stanley Tookie Williams founded the Crips in South Central LA. Their aggressive expansion led to violent takeovers of nearby neighborhoods. Smaller gangs banded together, forming the Bloods to resist. What began as turf defense turned into an all-out civil war across Los Angeles. The streets burned. By the 1980s, Blood vs. Crip warfare reached a fever pitch. Drive-bys, ambushes, and retaliation became routine. Crenshaw, Compton, Watts, no corner was safe. The crack era. The introduction of crack cocaine in the 80s made things worse. Now the fight wasn't just about colors. It was about money and control. The drug trade turned the rivalry into an economy of blood, the legacy. Even today, Blood and Crip affiliations shape hip-hop, fashion, and identity. What started as protection ended as one of the most infamous gang wars in U.S. history. Chapter 2. La MS vs. Nuestra Familia, the Mexican-American Civil War. While L.A. burned in blue and red, another war raged inside California's prisons. A war that split the Mexican-American community in two: origins behind bars. It began inside the California prison system in the 1960s. Inmates from Southern California aligned under the Mexican Mafia, La MS. Northern inmates, tired of oppression, formed the Nuestra Familia. These alliances created 2 armies: Sureños, Southerners, and Norteños, Northerners. Turf division. The dividing line? Roughly Bakersfield. South of it, Sureños. North, Norteños. Every town, every street, every cell block fell under one side. The blood feud. From the prisons to the streets, they hunted each other. Murders, ambushes, even coded tattoos marked their allegiance. La MS controlled from the shadows, demanding loyalty and tribute. The impact this war shaped California's entire underworld. Even today, that red versus blue, south versus north divide defines Hispanic gang culture across the state and even across borders. Chapter 3. The Mexican Mafia versus Black Guerilla family. Power behind bars. Not all wars happen on the streets. Some are fought in the shadows, where whispers decide who lives and dies. Inside California's prison system, 2 forces collided. The Mexican Mafia, powerful, organized, and ruthless. And the Black Guerilla family, politically motivated, disciplined, and deadly. Power struggle. La MS dominated the drug and protection rackets inside prison. The BGF sought control for black inmates and revolutionary ideals. Their goals clashed violently, each fighting for dominance over contraband, influence, and power. Flashpoints. Throughout the 1970s-90s, brutal riots erupted Folsom, San Quentin, Pelican Bay. Each side left dozens dead, hundreds wounded. These weren't random fights, they were organized attacks. The politics of power. This war wasn't just racial, it was about hierarchy. Control the prison and you control the streets. Legacy. Many of California's gang alliances and rivalries today trace their roots back to these prison wars. Behind bars, kings are made, and wars never end. Chapter 4. Florence, 13 versus East Coast Crips. Race, turf, and tragedy. In the 2000s, Los Angeles witnessed one of its most racially charged street wars. The Florencia 13, F-13, a powerful Hispanic gang backed by La M, versus the East Coast Crips, one of LA's oldest black gangs. The Spark, disputes over drug corners and street control in South Central. F-13 began targeting black residents, a move condemned even within the underworld. LAPD labeled it a racial cleansing war. Escalation. The conflict left dozens dead over several years. Families were forced to move. Whole blocks turned into no-go zones. Federal crackdown. In 2007, the FBI and LAPD launched Operation Joker's Wild, arresting dozens of F-13 members. But the scars of that war remain. Impact. This war was not about colors. It was about identity and survival. A grim reminder that gang wars can spill far beyond territory. Chapter 5. The 18th Street Gang versus MS-13. The Battle for Los Angeles. Two of LA's most notorious immigrant gangs, once allies, turned into mortal enemies. The origins. Both MS-13 and 18th Street were born in the immigrant neighborhoods of LA. In the 1980s, they fought side by side against larger black and Hispanic gangs. But greed, betrayal, and leadership disputes tore them apart. The war. By the 1990s, the streets of Pico Union, MacArthur Park, and Koreatown became war zones. Assassinations, revenge killings, and even attacks in Central America followed. The stakes. This wasn't local anymore. MS-13 expanded internationally, and 18th Street followed. Their war spread from LA to El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. The legacy. This conflict birthed two of the most feared gangs in the world, and it all started in Los Angeles. From the Bloods and Crips to the prison empires that rule from within, these wars wrote California's darkest chapters. Each one began with a cause, each one ended with chaos, and together they remind us that power always comes with a price. This has been Gangster Chronicles. If you found this deep dive powerful, hit that like button, subscribe for more real stories from the streets, and drop a comment below on which gang war you want next.